is crucial for time of day. So this is my mom's porch, and in the morning the sun just comes in here so intensely. Very harsh light, not good for portraits. Now if I wait till the sun is up about noon or so, all this is in shade and I can shoot in here with the greenery and it's pretty soft. But if I wait till like 5 p.m. where the sun is over there and it skims over the house and lights up the neighbor's house, then we have this gigantic reflector and glorious light right here on the porch. So pay attention to your surroundings, the time of day, and what might be horrible in the morning could be amazing in the evening. Now if it's an overcast day, well, you can pretty much go anywhere, except that it's just blah light and there's no light in the eyes. So sometimes you need to have a little reflector or maybe add in light, or just back under something that shapes the light and forces the light to come in from the side. Sometimes you can make that work. But most of the time, well, at least here in sunny California, we have to deal with the sun and how to make that light look amazing. Okay, so one of my favorite ways to photograph people and get beautiful light is use a reflective surface like a building. So I'm on my mom's back porch right now, and she's got all these beautiful green plants, and right next door is the neighbor's house, and the light is shining right there on that building. It's about 5:30 in the evening, and so the sun is skimming over the house, hitting that beige wall and bouncing this beautiful light right into the image. So we are going to photograph Heidi right there because the light is stellar. So I'm going to photograph Heidi right here where she is next to the pole and she's kind of turning her face towards this wall. The sun has gotten a little bit hazy, so it's not quite as directional as it was, but it's really pretty. Now what's working is, this is also a benefit to us, is this side is shaded because it's against the building, and this side is open sky. So it's a little more specular when the sun is shining on the building, but even without that, we have big open sky here. And so we have a highlight side and a shadow side. And now the background is marginal, it's okay. There's a chain link fence and a gate. Not that exciting, but I am shooting a 35-100 and I'm doing it at 2.8, which means a shallow depth of field. So she's gonna be in focus. The leaves behind her a little bit, and the gate back there, the ugly gate, totally out of focus. We won't even notice. So I'm gonna shoot from back here. Now, anytime you use a long lens, what you wanna do is get back as far as possible and zoom the lens out as far as it goes, because the longer the lens, let me get in frame. The longer the lens, the more attractive it is on your subject. So even though this is a zoom and I could do a headshot from this close, it's not going to be very attractive. The farther away I get and the more I zoom in, the better it's going to look. Okay. Oh, that's gorgeous. Right there, your eyes like really stand out. Turn your face that way a little bit. Right there. I love it. On your hand, I'm going to have you put your hand just like that, just so you have a higher shoulder. It only goes down to about there, though. Yeah, that looks great. And I can't even see that crazy looking gate back there. That looks pretty. Actually, the color of this wood totally goes. I like it. So if the light is a little bit behind her, I'm going to turn her face towards the light. So turn your face oh, there you go, backing up a little bit and turning your face that way. I always like to shoot into the shadow side of the face, and it just is more slimming to everyone. So that's called short light. That looks awesome right there, Heidi. Good job. One thing I love about having the light coming from up above and open is it gets a big catchlight in her eyes. So you can see a giant catchlight in her eyes because of the huge softbox of the sky, and it's really pretty. All right, the sun is coming out again. We're getting a little bit more direction of light. So now the light is coming from behind her a little bit, which is not really great. Typically, you want the light coming from a little bit in front of someone and a little bit higher than shoulder level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn her around where the light source is all in front of her, and that just means I'm going to walk up the ramp and I'm going to photograph that way. Well, the background's a little marginal this way as well. So good thing I'm using shallow depth of field. We can let it all fall away. So let me move the camera. Okay, so we switched direction. Sun's popping out. You can see it right on my face, right? So now I'm going to shoot the other direction, and guess what? The leaves are right in front of her face. So why don't you come forward just a little bit, Heidi? Right there. Not too far. Go back just a little bit, and you can just see, yeah, right in there. Now I am looking through here, and I want my background to even be more out of focus, because we've got, you know, all the irrigation pipes and everything, a little bit too distracting. So I'm going to switch from my 35 to 100, because it's a 2.8. I'm going to switch to a 42 and a half that is 1.7. So it has a really shallow depth of field, and that will give me much more blurring of the background and a lot more focus just on her. So hold on just a sec. All right, so this is the 42 and a half. It's just a little lens, but it is a 1.7, and it is gorgeous. It lets lots of light in, and it's not a zoom though. You got to zoom with your feet. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit closer. There we go. Why don't you come forward just a little bit? Now, the farther your subject is from the background, the more it's going to be in focus. So come towards me a little bit more. Now remember, the light direction is mostly from here. So I'm going to turn your body away from the light. Away. Here you go. And then put your hair behind you right there. There you go. And I want you to put your weight on your back leg. There you go. And then turn your face towards the light. Perfect. There we go. It's always helpful to be on hair patrol so you don't have to do it in Photoshop later. Yes. There we go. Oh, I love that. Now I'm still seeing that white pipe there. So I'm just, no, you're fine. I'm just going to shoot from a little bit lower. Ah, that's gorgeous. Now I'm going to have you lean towards me just a little bit. There you go. Yeah. Where's your smile? There you go. Turn your face more towards the light. How about put your hand on your hip? Turn that way just a little bit more. But look here at me. Yeah. Oh, not with that look though. Bring your chin towards me and chin up just a little. Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. All right. Another thing is shooting down on someone is also super attractive. She's pretty tall, but I'm up the ramp from her. I don't know if I can do that. Well, oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, you could do that. Let's try that. Actually, this simplifies the background a lot. Now we have this gray back there. Can you see, Heidi? So now I just have a really simple gray background, which is much, much better. And I can just shoot from right here. Oh, wow. Okay, so the beauty of looking up is I have lots of open sky. Your eyes just really, really shine. So, yeah, I like having your arm out there just to steady yourself. It's really zoomed in on your face, so it doesn't look weird that your hand is out there. Go ahead and put your hand out just to steady yourself. Just kind of lean into it a little bit. Oh, yeah, that looks really cute right there. Now, another thing you can do, because the Lumix has the fully articulated viewfinder, you can do this, and you can shoot from up above, and I can see her face just fine.
Tell me when to blink.
I know, it's so bright. Looking up at me right now. There you go. Awesome. It's kind of bright up in the sky, so it's kind of hard to look up without crying, squinting. All right, so those are good. Go ahead and save your knees. Okay, so this is a great way to shoot in soft light, minimize the background, and actually get some gorgeous light even when the sun is too high and a little too harsh. All right, so one of the things I love to do is shoot down on people, because with their face looking up, it's beautiful light from the sky, it slims out the face, and then you can use the background of like this weathered wood is a beautiful background, and so it really simplifies things. So I had her sit down low on these two little steps. She's actually on the bottom step, about this far from the ground. I'm on the ramp, so I'm standing on something that's higher than she's sitting on, so I'm going to shoot down on her, and we're going to get some great shots here. Okay. Ooh, this is beautiful. So I'm using the 42 and a half, and at 1.7, or 1.8 actually, 400th of a second. And I'm going to have you turn your face that way towards the light, and I'm going to fix these little hairs. One little crazy hair there. Okay, there's more than one. All right, that is gorgeous right there. Now I'm really zoomed in. I'm actually cutting off the top of her head, but this is of course a fixed lens. So if I want to be farther away or closer, I have to zoom with my feet or my camera. Actually, right there, I'm out of the frame, but I'm not cutting her head off so much. That looks good. Turn your face that way just a little bit more. There you go. That's beautiful. Where's your smile? There you go. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a vertical, and I'm getting a great background. Now, if I shoot lower, I've got, you know, kind of a distracting background, but shooting from up high is really, really pretty. I'm going to have you lean on your elbow a little bit. Yeah, a little bit farther. You can put it out. Yeah, just like that. And chin up a little bit. All right, so this time I'm getting really, really close, and chin up just a little bit more.
Sorry.
Bugs?
Yep.
I love those bugs. All right, that is gorgeous right there. And turn your face that way just a little bit, right there. I think I'm gonna do one of you looking away, just looking over that way. Get those pretty eyelashes right there. And let's do one more from down here. Oh, that's pretty. Chin down just a little bit. Okay, so we're out in my backyard and the sun is setting behind me, and I just want to share with you the difference between shooting into the light and being backlit. So the setting sun is always beautiful, and while it's still in the sky, it's a little bit too harsh. However, you can always put it to the back for backlight. So you can see I've got a great hair light on my hair because the sun is shining on the back. Now the problem with that is when you're shooting on automatic, the person is really dark, so you either need to compensate by overexposing a little bit or shoot on manual so you have a better exposure. But I'm going to take this camera, which is my G9 with a 42.5 millimeter, and I'm going to walk around Heidi and show you what the difference is in the light. So I'm going to run around here behind her. Okay, so she has really harsh light on her. Let me change my exposure a little bit. Okay, that's actually, it's a little filtered, so you got this kind of glamour. Turn your face this way a little bit. Okay, so right there, that's butterfly lighting. You got the little shadow there, and it's not too bad, but it's just a little bit more harsh of a look. Okay, she's squinting. Okay, I'm gonna do one like that. If I turn to the side here, then we have Rembrandt Light. Actually, we have that beautiful Rembrandt look, but it's just really harsh. She's squinting a little bit and it's not very attractive, just too harsh. Now, it's a little filtered today, so it's not as bad as usual. So let's turn around and I'm gonna photograph her from this side. And so now when I photograph her, the exposure is all wrong. It looked great before, but now the exposure is awful. So I'm going to brighten it up a little bit so I have a better exposure on her. That looks marvelous. And your hair is awesome with that backlight. I love it. Okay, so this is much better. Now I can see a little bit more light coming from that side. It's right between those trees, looks like. So yeah, turn your face that way just a little bit. That looks good. Now, if she turns her head too far, the light behind is skimming on her nose. Nose light is never good. So bring the nose back just a little bit. Go that way a little. There you go. But not so far as getting a little rim light with the nose. So that looks good right there. So I'm going to have you just lean into it a little bit more. There you go. That looks awesome. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple that are maybe 3/4 length. Oh yeah, that looks great. I love it. So the rim light behind her just gives this gorgeous light on her arm and here, and it makes the image look so much more three-dimensional. So shooting with backlight always gives a gorgeous glow to an image. Just be careful, you don't have a nose light. Be careful not to get too big of a flare in your lens, and you're gonna have to compensate on your exposure, either by going manual or doing a compensation with your automatic modes. So once the sun goes behind the trees or sets, then you've got really soft light. So we just have an open sky right over there, and it's still pretty specular because the sun is right there. It just went behind a tree. So at that point, you can face right into the sun. So I'm over here with Heidi right now. Actually, let me show you what the sky looks like from where she's at. So, all right, so I'm filming, and this is what the sky looks like. It's broad sun. So let me zoom around, and so now I've got Heidi in view, and the light is coming from up above, and I'm just gonna go this direction a little bit. So now we have this gorgeous catch light in her eyes, and I'm gonna take a few stills right there after the bugs. Okay, I'm back to using the 35 to 100, which is my absolute favorite portrait lens. And the sun is behind that tree, and so now it's like glorious light everywhere, and all I need to do is find a dark side to give a shadow, let the sky be the open light, and then find a good background. So, of course, with the shallow depth of field, I can get away with just about anything, but I like the dark background behind her, and that really brings out her eyes and her skin. So I'm going to do a couple shots right here. And oh yeah, no, she still has nice hair light. So even though her hair is dark, it's not getting lost in the dark leaves because there's still lots of light, and there's still light up above her. So if it gets darker and darker, pretty soon her dark hair will just go right into the dark background. And at that point, I would choose a lighter background. But this right now is perfect. So I love the dark green background. That's beautiful. So I'm going to have you turn all the way around so you're looking over your shoulder. There you go. And let's fix this one little crazy hair here. And I'm going to have you put this arm back and just kind of look over your shoulder. Yeah, just like that. Oh, that's cute. Turn your face towards me just a little bit more right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love this. This is gorgeous light. You can see her on her face right now. This is Rembrandt Light. She has this beautiful triangle of light right there, and nice light on this side. The shadow is created by this shed over here, and it looks marvelous. Lower your shoulder just a little bit. There you go. That opens her eyes even a little bit more, and I'm going to shift over this way. That's gorgeous. And tilt your head that way a little bit. Actually, twist towards me a little bit more. Right there. Oh, yeah. Super cute. Notice how I'm talking to her all the time whenever I'm taking pictures. If you don't communicate with your subject, they're just gonna their expression falls off. So if you keep entertaining them and keep getting expression out of them and giving them feedback and building them up, you're gonna get better expressions. So be animated and be a chatterbox if that's what it takes, just to keep the expression going with your subject.